WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's Statewide Pest Control Services for all your pest and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide Pest Control Services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378. You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. Fishing and blowing on, oh yeah. Fishing and
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Oh, great good morning to everybody out there. Thank you for taking the time to tune in. It is the Fish Florida Show, and I am honored and privileged to have you with me this morning. And my special co-host, good morning to Miss Pam. Good morning, Pam.
Good morning. I don't know if I'm bright eyes, but I'm here, young man.
And of course, my one and only super producer, Captain Hook. Good morning, Captain Hook.
Good morning. Good morning. How's everything going there on the East Coast?
It's bright, it's shiny, we have clouds, it's one of those days where certainly not going to be a day to stay inside, that's for sure. And get out there and enjoy it while you can.
Absolutely, absolutely. Get out there and put some lines in the water.
Ripple it.
So, we've got another great show shined. I better have me some more coffee. Let's try that again. We have another great show lined up for you this morning. We'll have, we'll have Robert Warner. Robert is with the Florida Fisherman Magazine. Always enjoy having Robert on. He always has a wide variety of information from all over the place. We'll have Maria Diaz on. She's with Nautical Jewelry. She's going to share with us a fishing report as well as a tournament that's going on. She's going to tell us a little bit about that. Daniel Griswold, I haven't had Daniel on, I don't think before, and this may be the first time I've had Daniel on. Daniel is a retired police officer. He's just a regular guy now. He's out there. He got tired, then he got retired, so he's just out there enjoying life. And I asked him to come on and share some of. He's been doing some saltwater fishing, some freshwater fishing, so we get a little bit of an idea of what's going on in both of those areas. Kyle Sikora with Dockside Fuel Service. He'll be calling in later with a fishing report. I'm sure that he'll give us all kinds of information about what's going on down in the Keys as they are constantly speaking with the different vessel owners down there and getting, information firsthand. And hopefully Doug Faudet will call in this morning. He's with Fishcognito. He has a special fishing line, apparel that he has, and he'll give us a fishing report as well. And then we'll have a discussion about a little bit of what's going on around Florida, any new tournaments or anything like that. And so please don't go away. We will have more people coming on here. And anyway, let me get to Pam for a moment. Pam,
okay.
You told me you were fishing last night.
Yes. I had the privilege of doing a seminar about night fishing at Bill Jackson's on Tuesday. And then a bunch of us got together and we fished Fort DeSoto last night.
And something very interesting happened.
Oh, I hooked into probably my PB, personal best snook. I was using Hidden Spook Junior, and it tore out not just one, it didn't straighten hooks, it tore out the backside of the treble hooks. Because you have two sets, one on the rear and one in the middle, and it straightened the hooks in the middle.
You sent me a picture of that, and my first thing was, I couldn't believe that, first of all, it's possible, I don't even know if it's possible, whoever it was, literally shredded this lure. It was amazing. And as she mentioned, the hook is bent almost pretty close to being straight.
And I don't keep a tight drag. I have a fairly loose drag out there. So yeah, I saw it come at the lure, and it was like a big wave coming at the lure, and I thought it was a bull red, and I'm like, yeah, okay. And then the lure disappeared. I mean, absolutely disappeared. And remember, we're night fishing with a nice moon. And next thing I know, my drag is just screaming. And then she comes and she does this head shake with a great big giant mouth open. And you know it's a big fish when it can't get out of the water. Barely gets its head out of the water. Does another run, another head shake, and she was gone.
Wow. Well, I'm going to put a picture of this lure that you sent me up on the Facebook page. So you can go to Facebook and you'll find the Fish Florida show there on Facebook. Give us a like if you haven't given us a like. It helps make us relevant in searches. And you'll see a picture of it. I'll have it up here as soon as the show's over. I'll upload it. It is impressive. Whatever this thing, you're sure it was a snook?
Yeah. I'm 99.9% sure the way it did the head shakes and everything.
Do you have any idea the size of this thing?
Oh, it was at least 40. I'm not kidding. To be that powerful and not get out of the water, just the size of the mouth was like a bucket.
Wow. Amazing. Well,
night fishing
you know,
is
like
fun.
I said off the air, at least you have evidence, because there's people who come back and go, oh yeah, you should have seen the one that got away, and they have nothing.
Yeah.
You know, you have a little bit of evidence to kind of back up what you're saying.
Yeah, and the leader's all chafed up, which again, that's the kind of the gills around a snook. So the leader was pretty chafed up.
Wow.
Good time.
Man.
Night fishing is fun. Especially you're in South
love night
Florida.
fishing.
Yeah.
I because it's nice and cool, especially if it's a night where it's just calm out there. I've been out there at night where it's so calm that the ocean acts like a mirror almost.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have, for kayakers, you don't have all the motorboats out there because it's kind of dangerous for them. And you don't have the leisure kayakers out there that are just kind of running by and waving at you. Hi, honey. And it's peaceful, it's quiet, it's cool. You trade in the only thing is you trade in your sunblock for bug spray.
Wow. All right, let me get to Robert Warner. Good morning, Mr. Robert. Thank you so much for calling in, my friend.
Good morning. How's everyone?
Go ahead, Pam.
Oh, good morning. How are you? Sorry.
Good morning, Pam.
Good
I'm
morning.
glad you brought up snook.
Yeah, Captain Hook and I were chatting for a second. I apologize.
That's okay.
No, not a problem. I'm glad you brought up the subject of snook. Did you see all of the snook killed by the red tide over there?
No.
There was hundreds of them
on
the West Coast yesterday. So I have a huge favor to ask of all of those. I know snook are out of season right now anyway, but when the season comes back, be careful what you keep, because between the cold front that killed thousands of them, and now this red tide has killed a whole bunch more. There are pictures all over from yesterday. Just be careful what you're keeping this year. You know, unless you really need to eat some snook really bad, let them go. So, because that's been really tough on the West Coast population of snook, I'm sure. So,
can you do me a favor? Can you also address, Robert, the correct way to handle a snook, no matter what its size, especially the bigger girls?
The bigger girls, it's better if you can keep them in the water. They can't be held vertically at all if they're big.
Can you kind of explain that?
Horizontal.
Okay.
What's that?
You can explain that a little bit more. What do you mean by vertical?
Don't hold them vertical. Don't hold them by the lip so that their tail is hanging down below you, especially big ones.
Thank you.
Because their internal organs are supported by water most of the time because they're swimming. As soon as you take them out of the water, they no longer have that support system, and if you turn them that way, their insides settle. They actually sink down. So, not good for the fish. And if you've got a really good size one, take a picture in the water like we do with sailfish and let it go. You know, so.
And the jaw, they have that really weak jaw also.
They have a really weak jaw, and I'm glad you brought up the gills. I can always tell someone who's caught their first snook by the cuts on their hands. So.
That's why I wear gloves.
They're razor
It's funny, Ann. They are. And Ann King sent me, who had never caught a snook until last year, sent me a picture. She goes, I finally caught my first snook. And just like you told me, watch out for the gills. I didn't. Had a big cut on the inside of her thumb. So they are sharp.
The red tide that is occurring over there, I know very little about red tides, but from what I do know, it's a bacteria, right? Some kind of bacteria?
It is. It is.
And do we know what brought it on?
Well, we've got a pretty good guess, but this
is it anything to do with draining the water out of Okeechobee?
Yep, I believe it does. They seem to coincide. This is the second year in a row where the red tide has occurred just after, about a month after those releases from Lake Okeechobee, and
we get that algae bloom. I'm sure that doesn't help.
Well, no, and now, so what's happened now is the snook, and same thing over on this side, the snook now have nowhere to go. They can stay in the river where they're living in blue-green algae, or head out into the Gulf and get hit with the red tide. So, This
Wow.
whole situation is pretty bad, but Erin Brockovich has finally gotten involved, so I think we will get a resolution to that pretty quickly. She doesn't back off of much, and I want to again thank Captain Mike Helm for getting her involved in this situation and for doing all the work he's done. He's been out taking pictures every day, sending them everywhere, sending them to congressmen, senators, Erin Brockovich, Governor Scott, who may or may not care, I'm not sure.
Yeah, I just don't understand the mentality of what I'm seeing today with regard to some of the subjects that these politicians need to deal with. It's just like they literally turn their back on it,
Well, you have to go with who helps pay for your election, and when you've got a bunch of people that help pay for your election and they're the cause, that makes it difficult for them, I'm sure, but it has to be addressed because it's out of hand and it's causing businesses to close, as well as what it's done to fishing and what it'll do to the rivers and the quality of the rivers. There are businesses on the river that will have to close because who wants to go sit at a restaurant and smell green tide? Because I don't know if you've been around it, but it smells worse than it looks. So
it's horrible. It's horrible. It's worse than a sewer.
Yeah,
it's just,
it is.
And who's going to want to sit at a restaurant and try to eat? And imagine. No, forget it. I'm not going to say that.
Don't go there. I know where you're headed. Don't go there.
Well, also, our biggest industry is tourism.
Have we got any tournaments going on?
There are tournaments going on. As a matter of fact, we've got a call at the insurance office the other day. Progressive Insurance has a tournament that they're doing in August out of Key Biscayne. So I'm going to make a few calls on that today and see what's going on. I'm not even sure what the target fish is, but I know that it's hot that time of year, so we'll figure that out. On the other hand, there are dolphin being caught everywhere. There are mahi being caught from here where I am all the way down into the Keys in abundance. So
wow.
There are a bunch out there. I also saw a Warsaw grouper came in off of Boca yesterday, which is highly unusual, but Christian Reck sent in a picture of a nice Warsaw grouper they caught off out of Boca.
Nice.
So, yeah, the grouper fishing's been great on the West Coast too, I believe, and the grouper fishing's just been excellent this year. I think by protecting them a little, we have increased the population in the groupers for years to come, which is a good thing. So
yeah.
Hey, it's been outstanding. Red snapper has been great too.
Yeah, we don't get that luxury over here on the East Coast, so we have no season over here for that. But we do get to catch them a lot, and we just get to let them go a lot. So. Yeah,
a couple of my buddies were headed from Tampa down toward the Keys, and outside of Sugar Captiva, less than 20 miles out, they ran into a school of mahi-mahi or dolphin.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's unusual on the West Coast to have them that close.
It is. It definitely is. On the East Coast, I have actually seen them so close that you could catch them from the 7 Mile Bridge. But, matter of fact, that's got to be 6-7 years ago now. There was a whole school of peanut-sized dolphins.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There was fishermen all over the 7 Mile Bridge catching little dolphin everywhere.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I've witnessed that when I had my boat. We were, we took some friends out and they were rather cautious of the ocean, so we didn't go very far. We were maybe not even a mile offshore and 30, 40 feet of water, and a huge school of peanut dolphin came flying through, and we pulled about 5 or 6 of them up.
We just missed. I don't know if you guys have ever witnessed this, but it just happened. When the sailfish move south through the Keys, they get so shallow. My buddy Jorge and I were watching a school of, like 10 of them in probably 30 feet of water.
Wow.
Balling up baits, just off the reef.
Wow.
Like I said, like 30, 35 feet of water, and there had to be 10 of them there, working in conjunction with each other to ball up those baits and tear them up. But it's impressive to watch.
Wow.
We didn't even throw a line in. We just sat and watched. It was incredible to see. Because the water's so clear, you can watch it all too. So.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they get in real shallow. So do the mahi. They come in real shallow, depending on the time of year and the water temperature, but they get in real shallow.
Wow.
Following the bait.
It's impressive to watch. You need to be there about mid-May, early June, and it's incredible to watch. You can find it. It's easy. Just cruise the reef and watch the surface of the water, and you'll see them. Can't miss them.
I've never seen them that shallow. That's amazing. And I'm always learning with you guys. That's why I love having to do this show. I'm always learning. We go back to the, I wanted to ask you about the Warsaw grouper before I forget. For somebody who is somewhat ignorant like I am, what's the difference between a Warsaw grouper, a regular grouper, or what we call,
Warsaw grouper are normally in the Bahamas. They're big. This one had to be close to 70 pounds that they caught yesterday. And they're mostly in the Bahamas. You don't see them over here that much. Very seldom, but they catch them a lot over in the Bahamas. That we just don't see that many of them. It's just like there's a lot more scamp grouper, I think, caught over on the West Coast than there are on the East Coast. And and I think there's a lot more black groupers over on the East Coast than there are on the West Coast. It's just where these fish like to be. And Warsaw grouper are very, very seldom caught off of Florida, but boy, they caught a nice one yesterday. So.
I'm trying to think of the name of the really big groupers, the
Goliath groupers.
Goliath. So are these are all of these fish basically the same? It's just different sizes?
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much, that's actually what almost caused the extinction of Goliath groupers. Is they taste just like the little ones. Only you get a whole lot more. It's still grouper, and they all taste good. So
wow. I hear Pam back there. What's up, Pam? I know you got a question.
No, I was just thinking the grouper season's open. I was going to troll the channel up here, the boat channel, on Friday for grouper, but the wind was kicking up a little bit, and I didn't feel like messing with the big boats with the winds and the waves. But in Tampa Bay, there's inshore grouper that are legal size that you can end up keeping, and you don't have to go out to the reefs.
Well, I've heard about that. Are those in the shipping channel there in Tampa?
Yes, sir. Bay? Yes, sir. In the shipping channel around the markers. I mean, I think we talked about this the other day. Last year I was out king fishing, on a boat and, lost one of my nice kings to, Goliath grouper. And that was, we were 5 miles, maybe 6 miles out.
Okay,
guys, that's actually become a big problem.
I got to cut it short. I didn't realize we're already beyond our break time. Robert, thank you so much.
Did we? Have a nice day, guys.
Thank you, Robert, so much for calling in. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go away. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Roger's Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Roger's Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
We can make each other happy. I grab my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on. When the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show and my special co-host, Miss Pam.
Oh, thank
Miss
you.
Pam is one of the top female kayak anglers in all of Florida. She brings a unique perspective to the table, if you will. And that is, she's literally at the water level watching what's going on. Good morning, Miss Pam.
Good morning, Rascal. How are you, sir?
I am holding up my end. I'm telling you, I'm just looking out the backside here, and it is just gorgeous out there this morning.
I came over to Howard Franklin this morning, and it was smooth as butter. I'm like, oh man, I should be out there.
Yeah, it is. Those days that we wait, it's definitely a beach day. You got to get out there and enjoy the beach. If nothing else, you'll enjoy the sunshine and get some of that good old vitamin D going through your body.
You got it.
And my special producer, good morning to you, Captain Hook.
Good morning, good morning. You know, where we are over here, we're right behind the big mangrove estuaries in the northernmost part of the St. Petersburg Peninsula, and this is really good area over here for Pam to go kayaking in. So there's a couple spots I'm going to show her where she might want to put in and go give it a shot.
Outstanding.
So, now when you're thinking about going later on today, I've got to ask you, I know you're limited to because of the size of the boat that you're on. What do you do about water? You got enough storage area for water?
Oh yeah, I bring a little cooler with me. I always freeze a couple bottles of water and then take 2 bottles. So I have 4 bottles of water with me, 2 frozen and 2 just out of the refrigerator. So that way I don't have to take ice, and it's just a little bit less weight and a little less complicated. I stick it in a cooler and away we go.
So I'm going to share this with you because I think it's important that you know this. I used to be in the plastics industry many years ago. These bottles that you're freezing, are they the flexible plastic?
Yes, I guess.
Okay. You should never ever use that. You shouldn't even drink water out of those things, to be honest with you.
I'm gonna die.
The plastic leaches into the water and causes all kinds of problems. And freezing it or leaving it in a car, I see that's 100 times worse than leaving it in a car and letting it hot. Is one of the worst things you can do. So just be aware of that. The more flexible the plastic, the easier it is for this this chemical reaction to occur. Water is commonly known as a universal solvent. That means it can dissolve just about anything. And plastic is one of those things. It will oxidize the plastic, and there's a chemical reaction that goes on. So if you're going to do it, I prefer that people don't do it at all. Find another way of doing it. Either put some, or if you want, use the ones that are frozen as a cooling agent, but don't drink the water. You follow what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it's just not a good choice, and a lot of people don't know that. And the plastics industry has known about this for a long time, and it's not something that they care to address because it costs them money, and everything's about profit.
Well, I did know not to use a lot of the different plastics in the microwave because I did hear that leaches out.
That does the same thing. And again, we're causing a chemical reaction to occur, and it's leaching out into your food. It's not believe it or not, there are countries where a little off subject, but just so people understand, there are countries where microwaves they're banned. They're not even allowed in the country because of the damage that they do.
That's interesting.
Anyway, I was hoping that we would hear from Miss Maria with Nautical Jewelry. She may be having phone issues this morning, so hopefully she'll call in before we get done. I want to get back to the snook thing that we were talking about, this monster that you was sharing with me this morning. It kind of reminds me of the Moby Dick story, except it's a little lower down.
Yeah, well, I did have one of the reasons I use Artie's is I don't like animals that smell out their food, i.e. sharks. And I did have a couple sharks come visit me last night because maybe the light attracted them that I keep on the kayak. But they breezed by the kayak 2 or 3 times. So I'm like, yeah, I have nothing for you guys. Don't look at me. Go find somebody with cut bait.
I think I shared this with the audience once before. The last time when I was married that my wife was out on a boat with me, I had a 24-foot wellcraft. And we were down in the Keys. We were probably 20 miles offshore. She saw 2 fins swimming in unison a ways from us, and was saying, "It's a shark." And I said, "No, it's not a shark. That's just 2 dolphins swimming." These fins were, it looked like literally like 2 dolphins swimming in unison with each other. We got into not really an argument, but a discussion. I said, "Okay, pull up the lines." We pulled the lines up. We went flying over to this thing, and it was at least 3/4 the length of my boat. It was a hammerhead shark. And he was not even closely intimidated by the boat. The boat was literally within feet of this. If I wanted to, if I leaned out far enough, I could have probably touched him. He just kept swimming, looked over at the boat, and just kept swimming like, okay, what are you going to do? 3/4.
Yeah, hammerheads and bull sharks. I think the 2 of them are very curious and seem not to have much fear.
I was shocked. I really was shocked that this thing was from eye to eye had to be at least 5 feet.
Wow.
At least 5 feet. It was just, it was kind of concerning at first. I thought to myself, well, if he decides to get upset and starts biting at my boat, what's going to happen? Because I've heard that they do it, not necessarily the hammerheads themselves, but sharks in general. I've heard that they will attack boats. When I served in the Air Force on the opposite side of the state, I served almost 2 years in Panama City on the Gulf side. There were numerous reports of boats being attacked by sharks over there.
I think it has to do with the engines. I think the hum of the engines attracts them. And after a while, if you're out there cutting bait, they're going to, they're not dumb creatures. They're going to associate that noise with dinner.
And what a dinner, unfortunately, there was a captain, I'm almost sure it was a captain that was, based on, at our station there in Panama City, Tyndall Air Base, who took his family out, and they ran into a serious storm and the boat began to take on water, and before they knew it, sharks were all around his boat. They were beginning to literally chew away at the boat before the rescue team showed up. That's how serious these guys are. That was crazy. I had never heard of anything like that before.
I haven't either. That is crazy.
So I don't know if they had something in the boat that was attracting them, or
I wonder if they
like
had
you say,
cut
I've seen
bait
it
that
where
was-
they come up to the propellers.
Mhm.
So maybe it's the cavitation, maybe it's that noise that's going on.
the hum or the frequency or the electric frequency. Who knows?
Wow. But
they're smart animals.
Unquestionably, I have seen repeatedly demonstrations of where they pick one way or another, and it's a purposeful decision. It's not something that just what am I trying to say? A reaction. You can see if you've ever seen some of the videos. There's a video out there of one of the largest great whites that have ever been recorded. This thing was swimming around the cage and dwarfed this cage. I don't care whether I got a cage or not. I wouldn't be in the water with this thing. There's just no way.
Not me.
Anyway, I believe Maria's on the line with us. Good morning, Miss Maria.
Good morning, Miss Scala. I got caught up this morning running, so a little bit later,
that's right.
but I'm here. Yeah.
She's a runner. That's right. How you doing?
Anyway, we're getting ready. I'm getting ready for the big Blue Marlin Grand Championship over in Orange Beach, Alabama. It starts July 10th and ends July 15th, so we're getting all geared up for that.
Okay, so what is that tournament again? Because you said it kind of quickly.
Yeah, that's the Blue Marlin Grand Championship tournament in Orange Beach, Alabama.
And you have the distinction of being the only jeweler there.
That's correct. We're the only jeweler there, and we specialize in nautical jewelry, but we're the only jeweler at the tournament, and we're doing a really nice donation for the winner.
Nice.
And hopefully we'll see some of the listeners out there.
You got something there, Captain Hook? Did I hear you?
No.
Okay, I apologize.
Not as
I thought you had a question.
Now, what type of a jewel are you doing? A ring or a pendant? What are you doing for the winner? Can you give us a little insight or a hint, or is it a secret?
Well, it's a little bit of a surprise. I'll tell you it's a marlin, though, but it's a really nice marlin we're giving away. And it's going to be a really nice giveaway.
I know, like, over here, King of the Beach does a big ring. It looks like a Super Bowl ring almost.
Nice.
Ah, okay. Is it a nautical piece, or?
It has their logo and things on it, so I don't know how nautical that is. I know Extreme also does a great big giant ring that has their logo in it for the winner of SummerSlam 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's awesome. So maybe next one we'll do something like that with a logo, or maybe just a big marlin ring. Really nice.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
Anyway, we're getting geared up for that. I'm all excited. It's going to be a long road trip.
Uh-huh.
And we should get there a little early to get acclimated and get all set up.
What's the most unique ring or piece of jewelry that somebody has asked you to make?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
What's the most unique jewelry that someone has asked you to design?
Let's see. That's a difficult one. I get a lot of different ones. I had one guy. He's a plastic surgeon in. I think he's in Oregon. He asked me to design something that was really weird. I never did know what it was, but it was some kind of symbolism. Some kind of symbolism of something. I actually have it on my website. It was called Osgood's piece or something like that. It's a really unique piece. And insofar as nautical, I think the most unique piece was a Grand Slam, but it wasn't the typical one with the marlin and the blue marlin, white marlin, and sailfish. It was a tuna, a mahi-mahi, and I believe a marlin, but then they wanted different stones with each one. And with that one, I think they did port and starboard, ruby and emerald on the right, and the ruby on the right side and the starboard on the, I think I have it wrong. But anyway, they did port and starboard, and they did a diamond on the top for the one in the center.
Beautiful. Is that on your website also?
That is on my Facebook page, actually. I haven't gotten a good picture to put on my website.
Okay.
And you shared with me the top prize is how much?
The top prize is $1.8 million for the winning team of the tournament.
It's just kind of like the quest for the ring. I don't recall. I think that was about $1.5 million as well.
Oh, is that what it was? I didn't know about that one. Where was that?
The quest for the ring with Jimmy Johnson.
Okay.
You didn't participate in that one?
No, that was Victoria, I believe. The prize giveaway was at the Hard Rock. That's what it was, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, I didn't participate in that one. No, I found out last minute, and I was unable to get a show together for that at the last minute.
Yeah, they had a big. I never realized there was so much financial power behind all of these tournaments. I just thought that you win some money and that was it. But I'm finding out that some of these tournaments are in the millions of dollars. It's amazing.
Oh, you turn around.
Yeah, well, the sponsors sometimes are like Viking and Hatteras and Pelagic. So there's some big sponsors on these things. I believe Audi's one of the sponsors on this one I'm doing in Orange Beach. So there's a lot of big sponsors, and I believe that's how they get a lot of their funds for the winning prize.
Wow.
These captains, these teams put in a lot of time, and the boats they run some of them are $1 million boats. They're just beautiful, beautiful machines.
Yeah, they are. I sent you the link for the actual tournament, and you can see some of the boats there. And it's not just the boats; they've got helicopters in the air tracking them and everything. Some of the teams, I believe, have helicopters. Maybe I don't know if it's legal or not, but it seems like they're actually locating where the schools are.
Spotters.
The schools are. Yeah. So it's a lot of money involved.
Yeah, I know some of our tournaments that I fish, the rules now state that you can't use a drone or some sort of an air device to locate your fish.
Okay, well, I know on the website there's one with a helicopter flying above the boat, but maybe they're just tracking them and taking aerial photography.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what it is.
Or be a safety net.
Mm.
Yeah, probably so. So have you fished those before, Riskawa?
No.
I have not either.
Nope. Not had the honor of doing anything like that. But that's one of the things. Go ahead.
We're going to have quite a spread of jewelry. I think I'm going to have just about all my line there at the show. So it's going to be quite a spread there. I don't know if any of your listeners are going to be out in the area, but it'd be great if you could stop by and take a look. I think Victoria's going to be there with me at the show. She said she plans on being there.
Cool.
Fish Florida Media. Yeah.
Cool. Good deal. Well, I'm up against a break, Miss Maria. I want to thank you for taking the time to call in, and I want to clear something up. When I said she's a runner, I want people to understand she's literally a runner. She runs triathlon. Is it a triathlon or is it a marathon?
No, I do marathons, and I was actually out. I didn't realize the time, and I actually just stopped, cold stopped when I realized what time it was to call you. So I'm a little bit out of breath, and but I just ran like 20 miles just now. I got up early, and I didn't realize what time it was. I kind of got my runner's high going on. I said, "Oh no, I got to call Miss Scala."
I'm lucky if I can get 20 yards. All right, Miss Maria, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you calling in this morning. That's Maria Diaz with Nautical Jewelry. You can find her online, and we are up against a break. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip. You can find your tide reports, buoy reports, get a fishing license, and even find someone to go fishing with. Plus great products and services from all our media partners. And oh yeah, you can get the Fish Florida Show on the app. Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern here on the WDBF radio networks. So download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip and tune in.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket.
Hit
ignition. And then
nothing. Ha 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 ha. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite. Look out! Look out! And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace.
I'm Trace Atkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan.
Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Hey, this is Pam Warwick. I'm co-hosting. Thankful to Riscala Stevens for our major host, and of course the almighty Captain Hook at my side. It looks like we have Daniel Griswold on the line right now. Daniel is with Adopt-A-Cop USA. Good morning, Daniel.
Good morning.
How are you doing, sir?
I'm pretty good. How about y'all?
Real good, real good. Have you done any fishing lately?
Yeah, actually, I've been fishing quite a bit lately.
Great. What area do you fish in?
All over, really. I mean, I live in North Florida.
Okay.
So we've been doing a lot of fishing up here, but just came back from a trip to the Keys with Sergeant Frank, my buddy, and we took a family from Tampa down there, a family of 4. Went out on the Gulf side of the Keys, and boy, they had a blast. We were catching just about everything you could think of.
No, it's family of 4. Was it a charter or was it part of Adopt-A-Cop?
It was part of Adopt-A-Cop USA. It was a couple of parents with their kids, Drew and Alana. I think they were like 12 and 7 or 13 and 7.
Great.
We like to take young kids out and let them bond with their parents and catch some fish and have some fun, you know.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit more about Adopt-A-Cop?
Well, Adopt-A-Cop USA is a mentoring program for kids with police officers. We do quite a bit of things, but fishing, especially here in the summer, is something that's good for the kids to do. We don't like to take the kids out unless they have their parents with them, because that's part of the program. You know, we want the parents and the kids to go out in the outdoors and bond together and have a little fun, you know, together. Because we're not like it sounds kind of stupid, but we don't want to be a babysitting program, you know what I mean? But we took these guys. Go ahead.
That's why I support it so strongly, because it does build a bond. To me, family is everything. Growing up, my family is a small family, only 4 people.
Riscali, you're breaking up there, buddy. It sounds like you got a bad wire.
Yeah. But
I thought it was just me.
No.
Is that any better?
A lot better.
Yeah. I was saying, as growing up, for me, family was everything. We small unit, only 4 people in the intermediate family. My brother's my best friend. Most of our bonding times, a lot of our bonding times, was built and around the fishing experience. It was just something we could do as a family together and enjoy it together all at the same time. And in doing so, it increases that bond. And it's more difficult for this world that we live in to break it up, because there's a direct threat to the families today, more than ever before, to the family unit itself. To break that unit up for whatever, many myriad of reasons, but you can see it. You can see it day in and day out. So anything we can do to help increase that bond, I'm all for it. I appreciate that, Daniel. Thank you. Thank Sergeant Frank as well. I've said to both of you many times, thank you very much for what you do. I'm grateful for what you do, because kids are my passion. I love kids.
And especially if you look at the fact first responders, police officers, are in such a high stress situations. They never know what they're going to walk into. And nobody can just leave the job at home. They come back, and this is sometime the water is so soothing, and it's such a great way to bond, and especially the excitement of everybody getting together and landing that first fish. What did they catch?
We caught some trout. We caught some mutton snappers, a lot of sharks. They were, I think they had more fun catching the little sharks than they did anything, because the sharks they fight like crazy, you know.
Wow.
And it's so awesome, and we got some great footage of them, you know. And it's great to see the child, you know, trying to fight the fish and going and then the dad and the mom both are like holding the rod with them and trying to help them. I mean, that stuff, you just can't get stuff like that. It's so awesome.
They'll remember that forever.
Do what?
I said they'll remember that forever. That is so great.
Oh yeah, it helps. You know, we don't just take, you know, families out. We take veterans. We take police officers, wounded police officers. We do a lot of stuff with a lot of people. So, and what you were saying earlier is right. You know, even for us, we're both retired law enforcement officers for 25 years, and it's soothing just for us, and it just heals us, and you know, gets us out there, and you can just unwind and enjoy it, and it's just a great thing to do. So not only is it a good thing to do for the other people, but it's great for us too.
Yeah.
I like that. I like it where everybody wins. I like that.
Absolutely. And we did some fishing up in the Gulf, up by Madison, which is in North Florida.
Mm-hmm.
And we had some people from L&W Processing take us out in the Gulf again, but we used artificials up there, and we were kind of like in it was like a long finger river thing to get out to the Gulf, and I'd never been up there, so I was like, where the heck are they taking us? And we smashed them. I mean, we caught big reds. We caught everything out there. I mean, it was just one after another, and I was like, man, this is an awesome place to come. It's kind of different from what I like. You know, I'm a freshwater fisherman. I like the bass fish, so it's a little different bass fishing than going out in the ocean, because when I'm bass fishing, I know exactly what I'm after. I know exactly what I'm going to catch most of the time. I mean, you catch different things every now and again in freshwater, but out in the ocean, I mean, I think the day we went out in the Gulf, we caught, I bet you we caught like 9 or 10 different species of fish.
Wow.
It was interesting, and I'm not a big saltwater guy, even though I live in Florida and I have for a while. You know, I've always liked the bass fish, but it was good to get out there. And we took a wounded police officer out there, and that was a couple weekends ago, and she had a blast. Took them alligator hunting as well, so I didn't get to go on that trip because I had plans, but the next day after we took them out fishing, we took them out gator hunting, which was pretty awesome for them.
That's pretty intense.
You talk about going
we like to do a lot of things.
One extreme to the next. Go fishing and then go gator hunting.
Yeah. Well, it was like it was a planned thing. We had a up and coming singer who's awesome, Dave Bray USA. You could look him up if you want. He sings like patriotic songs, which are really good. And he came down with us, and this the police officer, her name was Stacy West, and she was shot in the line of duty a few years back and almost died. She had to like crawl to the neighbor's garage to get away after being shot. Yeah, and it was just, you know, it gives me so many goosebumps listening to that story, and I almost feel guilty listening to stuff like that because I made it out. You know, I didn't get hurt and I didn't get shot. You know, I had some close calls, but it's when you hear that story, it almost makes you want to cry. You know, it's so I don't even know how to explain it. I'm getting goosebumps right now just even thinking about it. But for her to be out there having a good time and doing that, and she actually shot a little .22, and it was the first time that she'd ever shot a gun since that incident.
Is she okay?
So it was kind of good and good for her too, you know.
Mm-hmm. So,
but I missed the alligator hunt. I wish I would have been there because those are always fun and interesting.
Is it like what we see on TV? It's those swamp people?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that because this kind of was because in Florida you're not allowed to do it the way that you see it on TV. Like here in Florida, if you put in for some tags for gator hunting and you get them, you have to go out and it's almost like fishing, or it is like fishing. You ever seen wicked tuna? I'm sure you have. So you're fighting them like that. The rod tip looks like it's like that, and you know you get a treble hook and you take a saltwater rod, a spinner rod, or whatever you want, and you put like 200-pound braid on it, and you go out and you see them, and then when they go down, you try to hook them. Now you're not penetrating their skin with that hook; you're just grabbing onto them.
So you're snagging them.
You know, hoping that it gets. Yeah, you're snagging them. So you fight them to the shore, then you got to harpoon them to get a rope on them so they can't get away, and then you have to use what's called a bang stick to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not allowed to use a gun. You have to put the bang stick is just a big long stick with usually you put like a 44 shell at the end of it, and when you put the pressure on it, it hits the round's trigger thing, and it, you know, goes through the gator's head, and that's how you kill them. But with the people that we went or that Sergeant Frank went with up here, they're licensed trappers, and they get to do different things. So they actually were allowed to bait, and they were allowed to shoot it with a .22.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
you know, they do different because they're licensed trappers, and I guess
right. I want to let people know that alligators were endangered. They're off the endangered list, and the hunt, when they say that, it's not being cruel. It's just weeding, or as they say, thinning the herd a little bit.
Yeah, and they use every inch of that gator. I mean, the skin gets tanned and the meat gets processed, and even like the red meat apparently. And I didn't know this until I was talking to Sergeant Frank. The tail's what everybody wants to eat, but the other meat people don't want to eat. But L&W Processing, they smoke it and make sausage out of it, and apparently it's to die for. I haven't tried it yet, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yum.
Well, Daniel, it's that magic time. We're up against the top of the hour, so I'm going to be headed out. But before I do that, I want you to tell the people if they want to reach you, how do they do that? If they want to get involved with Adopt a Cop?
You can look us up on Facebook. It's Adopt a Cop USA official site. Now, there's a couple other Adopt a Cop USA type things on there, so you got to make sure it says official site. And our website is www.myaacusa.org.
All right, my friend. God bless you. Thank you so much for taking the time to call in and sharing with us. It was wonderful to have you on. And have a wonderful week. Hope to talk to you soon. We're up against a break. We will be right back. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com. WDBFradio.com.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard, North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg.
Test 1 2 3. Test 1 2 3. Hey, this is Captain Hook for Statewide Pest Control Services. They've been serving the west coast of Florida since 1987. Statewide does it all. Pest control, termites, lawns, mosquitoes, tent fumigations, etc. This announcement is from their mold division. Since Hurricane Charlie in 2004, all their personnel are certified in mold and moisture control. Their two-step services are guaranteed to get you back in your home quicker and in most cases paid by your insurance company. Give them a call at 877-488-7378. That's Statewide Pest Control Services for all your pest and mold control needs, serving Florida from Pasco to Lee counties. Statewide Pest Control Services, 877-488-7378. 877-488-7378. That's 877-488-7378. You're listening to WDBFradio.com, a tune-in station.
I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. Stop fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Good morning to you, everyone out there that is listening. I appreciate you taking the time to tune in. It is the Fish Florida Show, and we are coming to you from South Florida, the East Coast on this end, and the West Coast on my co-hosts and my producers' end. And so we have a pretty good broad spectrum of what's going on around the state. People calling in from various different locations and kind of giving us an idea of what's going on. And a very good morning to my special co-host, Miss Pam. Good morning, Miss Pam.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. I'm still waking up. Did some night fishing last night and didn't get home till about 1 this morning. But I'm here. Captain Hook made me some coffee, so I'm alive, I'm awake, I'm ready to go.
Good morning, Captain Hook.
Good morning. Margaritas are next here.
I have to wait a little while. Oh my goodness. Yes, and so as we were discussing earlier that you were doing that night fishing with a monster showed up out of nowhere and just literally shredded this lure, which I'll have a picture up on the Facebook page. If you would go to Facebook, you'll find us. It's the Fish Florida Show, or you can go to our website, fishfloridashow.com, and you can listen to the show there, or you can download the app. And the app is free. I would get it while it's free because we're discussing the possibilities now of not being able to offer it for absolutely free anymore. A very, very minimal cost, but because there is so much that goes into the app, we may have to end up charging 99 cents for the app. But right now it's free. Take advantage of it while you can. It's the Fish Florida app. Vital tool if you're going to be outdoors doing something. It goes right along with the show. You can hear the show on the app as well. And you can listen several places. You can, if you want the TuneIn app, you can get the TuneIn app. You don't have to buy the premium on TuneIn. The free portion of TuneIn will work just fine, and it's WDBF.FM. Or you can go to WDBFradio.com, or you can go, like I said earlier, to the FishFloridaShow.com. So there's many different ways you can listen to us. If you are an LNM listener, you can go to LNMradio.com. We are on the LNM Radio Network. Thank you to the LNM Radio Network for allowing us to do that. It's a great honor to be a part of that network as well. And you can always find us here.
And you can also,
every Sunday morning.
And Riscala, you can also go, if you're a Roku user, you can go to Roku, and TuneIn is also on Roku, and we're on all of that.
Oh wow, I wasn't aware of that. Thank you.
We're everywhere.
We're everywhere. Well, I think we have one of the Sikoras on with us. I'm not sure which one is, either Andy or Kyle, but good morning.
Good morning, Riscala. Today it's Kyle. Good morning, everyone else as well.
Good morning, Kyle.
Thanks for having me on the show.
So you sound bright and cheerful this morning.
I don't have margaritas like you guys do, but maybe later on today.
Now, we're still on coffee. Margaritas are next. The blender makes too much noise in the background.
That's right. We're waiting for one of our sponsors to open, and we'll be there soon.
and have any of you guys been able to, you've been getting out in this very, very light winds and you catching any fish out there?
Slight. I've had some blowing winds over here on the West Coast. They're blowing from the west in, so it's made it a little difficult to go offshore in the kayak.
Yeah, we kind of had a rough week over here. We had torrential downpours over here off and on during the course of the week. So it's been very spotty of when and where you can go.
That's interesting because on the West Coast, at least down in the Keys, the waters has been a mirror all the way out for probably the past week. I think reports have been 1 to 2 feet pretty much the entire week, nothing more. And it's just totally glassy. Everybody's getting out fishing.
That's nice. What have they been catching down there?
A lot of small dolphin. We're hearing some people are catching once in a while a larger dolphin, but for the most part, it's all schoolies. And that's about all we're hearing. Dolphin and mutton snapper. I think mutton might be spawning. I'm not 100% sure on that, but people are definitely coming back with quite a bit of mutton snapper.
What kind of sizes are you getting on the snapper?
I couldn't tell you for sure, but they're larger. They're decent sized mutton snapper.
Nice. So they're getting they're getting nice sizes and getting their limits.
Oh yeah, on mutton snapper for sure, definitely. I think there's somebody. We've had a few people tell us that they're spawning, so that probably has something to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
But probably for the past 3 or 4 weeks, anybody who goes out looking for mutton, they're coming back with them that day. At least at least down here in the Keys. I'm not too sure, on your coast. But.
That is a good eating fish.
Now, am I wrong? Because I think mutton snapper isn't a red snapper, right?
Daniel?
I think you're asking the wrong person for that. I'm not sure on that.
Yes, you are correct. They're 2 different species. I mean, yes.
It just happens to be called snapper.
Yeah, they're from the same family, but different species, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. And mutton snapper generally are not little, they're not small, when I say small, like 3 and 4 pound fish. So when I hear about them, generally they're larger than that. Is that right?
Yeah, you can get some pretty good size. That's why I was asking what size they were getting down there. I think I'm not sure on the East Coast what the minimum is. I don't know if it's 12 or 15 inches.
Wow.
Yeah,
Do you know?
I'm not too sure on that. I mean, they're larger of the snapper family, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
They're much larger than mangrove snapper or a smaller snapper than that. I don't know if they're the largest snapper, but they're pretty fat fish, and there's a lot of meat on them for what they are.
Wow. I get out there.
Yeah, I prefer them to dolphin. They're a very good eating, nice white meat. Yeah, it's a great eating fish. Little garlic, little butter, barbecue, done.
My goodness. Maybe we should devote a part of the show on how to cook. My mouth is watering from you talking about that. My goodness. All right, well, maybe we can devote a part of the show from now on to how to cook this stuff.
We'll get some chefs on.
I like that. Hey, Kyle, tell us a little bit about what you do.
So our service, we provide fuel service in the Keys, and we go from Key Largo to Ocean to Key West, and we have Rec 90 non-ethanol, which is what you should be putting in your boat, or diesel, and we have 200 feet of hose. So we got to get the truck within about 200 feet of the boat, but we deliver fuel mostly to residencies, some businesses, and charter boats and stuff like that. And we're pretty easy to get a hold of. You can call us or text us, and we just try to get people out on the water as quick as we can.
If they
one thing that has been an issue recently is people are calling at the last minute, and we can't guarantee that we'll be able to help you if you need fuel, that day or within a couple hours. The more notice you can give us, the better. And we'll be sure to work you into our schedule.
If they want to call you, Kyle, what's the phone number?
The phone number is 305-923-6509, or you can find us on Facebook at Dockside Fuel Service.
And I think you have a website as well, right?
Yep, we do. It's dockside-fuel.com, and you can actually book appointments online as well. We get some people who do that as well.
I think it's
try to
great.
Make it as easy as it can to get people on the water.
I think it's a great service. It is truly a value because you have a vessel, and I've never had the privilege of having one of these big vessels, but I have a friend of mine who is a professional captain who was responsible. I think it was a 56 Hatteras is what he was responsible for. And he told me, we got to get it out of the dock. This is a big thing. It's not like a car you just pull it out of the parking spot. We got to get it out of the dock and get it down the canal, go down to the marina, fuel it up, bring it back, get ready to go. Here is a service where it's come right to you, give you what you need. You don't have to worry about taking it out. You don't have to go up the channel. You don't have to go up the canal. You don't have to find a marina. You don't have to do any of that. It's right there at your fingertips. And it's pretty doggone easy to get a hold of them, either on the web or the phone number or even on Facebook. And typically they will respond. I think, it's a personal opinion of mine, but I think at the most it's 24 hours. Is that right, Kyle?
Yeah. We ask for 24 hours notice. A lot of times we can fit people in the same day. It just depends where we are and, how booked we are.
Right.
At least down here, the weather's been so nice. We've been pretty busy. The more notice people can give us, the better. And we try to work everybody into our schedule as best we can.
How long does it take to refuel the average boat? What's the average gallons that most of your customers are taking on?
It really depends. Probably average is about 100 to 150. By the time we get there to the time we're leaving, it's maybe a half hour, 30 minutes.
It's pretty fast.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick. I mean, sometimes, on a holiday weekend, you can actually be sitting at the marina in line, behind 4 or 5 boats, and you'll be there for an hour and a half. So we try to kind of eliminate that hassle of waiting in line.
Yeah.
So you'll go directly to where the boat is moored?
Yeah. Yeah, we go directly to the boat. Usually it's behind people's homes or wherever they have the boat docked. We cannot service people who keep their boats in marinas unless the marina approves it. They want to sell their own gas and still have a third party.
Conflict of interest?
Yeah. Yeah. So, hey, Kyle, have you been doing any fishing?
I have not. We're working 7 days a week, unfortunately.
My goodness.
Keeping us very busy in the summer. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I do, I commend you, my friend, because I know it's a family-owned business. It's a father and son, correct?
It is, yep. It's just the two of us.
And that is one of my core strings in my heart are families, and I'm always appreciative of the small businesses because that's really where this country has come from, is from small businesses. It's the small guys that take care of customers on a local level and make them feel like family, because they are kind of, in a way, when you think about it, they're supporting you, and in supporting you, they're supporting your family. So we're always in support of small businesses. God bless you. I appreciate that, my friend.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate being on. We really do.
All right, Kyle, any parting words for anybody? Because we're approaching slowly. We still got a couple of minutes. Any parting words you want to share?
I don't have much other than just call us early. And I haven't been out fishing in quite a while, but actually yesterday was a nice day. I got tipped in dolphin 2 times from 2 different customers, so I'm not complaining about that.
Nice.
Do any of these people reward you with fish?
Yeah. Yesterday they did. I think I got 4 dolphin yesterday.
Oh, wow.
People just come back and, if they got a boat full, 1 or 2, off the top, they don't really care. They're just happy to get fuel.
How sweet. I love it.
Very nice.
Yeah,
All right,
I can't complain about that.
It's Dockside Fuel Service. You can reach them at area code 305-923. 6509. Yep. I apologize. We talked over each other. Go ahead. Say it again, Kyle.
It's 305-923-6509.
All right, my friend. Tell Dad I said hi. God bless you. Hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sorry you have to work, but at least you're out there enjoying the sunshine.
Will do. Yeah, it's been beautiful. We've had really nice weather. I hope that you guys on the West Coast get some better weather, because we've had some unbelievable days.
It's nice out there today. Thank you.
Thanks again for having me on, guys.
Thanks, Kyle. Catch you in a while. Oh, I even rhymed that. Didn't even mean to do that.
You're
I'm
so
a poet,
clever.
don't know it.
You're so clever.
Okay, my friend, that is Kyle Sikora. He's with Dockside Fuel Service. You can find him online, or you can give him a call, 305-923-6509. I really like them. I've met Kyle personally. He is a very, very, once you meet him, he is a memorable kind of guy. He's a younger man. Of course, everybody's younger than me, but he's a younger man, but very well polished and very well, just a kind, considerate young man. I was very impressed with him. Anyway, we're going to take a break just a couple of seconds early here, and don't go away, because we're not going anywhere.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip. You can find your tide reports, buoy reports, get a fishing license, and even find someone to go fishing with. Plus great products and services from all our media partners. And oh yeah, you can get the Fish Florida show on the app. Sundays at 8 a.m. Eastern here on the WDBF radio networks. So download the Fish Florida mobile app to plan your boating, fishing, or hunting trip and tune in.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps demonstrate their commitment to defend the American way of life. Since 1775, we have served our nation as a force in readiness. From combat operations to humanitarian assistance in every corner of the world. No matter where the mission takes us today, or wherever our country needs us tomorrow, we always remember the land we call home. As Marines, we take a stand for each other, for our nation, for us all, the few, the proud, the Marines.
Today, my new dad and I shot off a rocket in the park.
Today, my new son and I failed to shoot off a rocket.
He knew exactly what to do.
I had no clue what I was doing.
We set up the rocket. Hit ignition. And then
nothing. Sometimes I laugh when I'm frustrated.
Then out of nowhere, the rocket launched into the air.
The rocket did get into the air.
I've never seen anything fly so high.
And then crashed into a kite.
Look out! Look out!
And then the pond.
I'll never forget that day.
I'll never forget that day, even if I tried.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of kids in foster care will take you just as you are. For more information on how you can adopt, visit adoptuskids.org. A public service announcement from the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, Adopt U.S. Kids, and the Ad Council.
It took me a long time to be able to say Chandler has cancer, because that is such a scary word. St. Jude takes care of absolutely everything. And knowing that we don't have to pay for all of the medical expenses, that's huge.
St. Jude allowed me to focus on being a mom to Bryce. And sometimes I'm just in awe of the impact St. Jude has, not only on this community, but the world.
St. Jude is uniquely positioned to advance the cures of pediatric cancer, I think better than any other institution in the world. The contributions make a big difference.
Donors are important to us because you get the feeling that you have a team behind you. We have the resources and we have the focus. And so if St. Jude doesn't do it, who will?
St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Finding cures. Saving children. Learn more at stjude.org.
My vehicle was sent 6 feet in the air in a ball of fire. I thought I was going to die.
It ripped my arm off. It broke my right femur.
I took such a hard blow to the head that my retina was torn apart.
Say a prayer for peace. I'm Trace Atkins. I want to tell you about these true American heroes and how you can show your thanks by helping them through Wounded Warrior Project.
They've reached out to us as a family, and they never forgot about us.
The job of helping thousands of our wounded warriors rebuild their lives is massive and growing every day. That's why your gift of just $19 a month is so important. Many of these service members suffer traumatic brain injury and post-traumatic stress disorder.
They helped me basically put my life back together.
If it wasn't for Wounded Warrior Project, I would be a statistic right now. I would have been one of those soldiers who came home and committed suicide.
I'm in the fields of Vietnam, the mountains of Afghanistan. Your gift today of $19 a month can help us provide the programs and services desperately needed by our wounded service members. Call or go online with a pledge and you'll receive this Wounded Warrior Project blanket. Make that call now.
Say a prayer for peace.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. It is the Fish Florida Show. I am your host, Riscala. It is an honor and privilege to have you listening and just kind of sharing in the fun, just kind of general information about fishing and occasionally about other things as well, whether that might be snorkeling or maybe even hunting. But generally focused on fishing. And we do have an app, like I mentioned earlier. It is free at this time. I would take advantage of that. A vital tool if you're going to be outdoors. It is the Fish Florida app. You can find it at any of the major outlets. And it's a way that you can listen to us every Sunday from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. It's one of the ways. We have many ways you can listen to us, but that's one. And you can use this as a vital tool anytime you're going outdoors, whether that might be fishing, boating, kayaking, snorkeling. It's going to give you a wide variety of information. And the best part of it right now is that it's absolutely free. Anyway, welcome back. And my special co-host, Miss Pam Worth. Miss Pam is one of the top female kayak anglers in Florida. She always brings a unique perspective to the table. And I am honored and privileged to have you on. Good morning, Miss Pam.
Good morning, sir. Thank you so much for that, that honorable introduction. That was so sweet.
And we have, of course, the one and only Captain Hook. And thank you so much, Captain Hook, for being back there and taking care of all the stuff that goes on in the background that nobody ever hears about.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
So my next guest is Doug. Doug is, I had mentioned earlier, he is with Fincognito. It's a special fishing apparel. It's pretty cool stuff that I've seen. He has a website that he'll kind of share with us here in a moment. You can go on the website. You can see some of the stuff that he has, and very impressive, very impressive. Good morning, Mr. Doug. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Riscala. How are you today?
We're holding up on my end.
Good, good.
So let's talk a little bit about Fincognito. So the listeners, because we haven't had you on in a while, and we've had a lot of new listeners coming in. A little bit about Fincognito and what you do.
Well, great. We actually make performance wearable fish art, is what we call it. And the performance aspects are we make sun protective, wicking moisture management fabrics and styles that really promote sun protection and just comfort when you're out on the water or just in any lifestyle situation. But the twist is that we take artist renderings and through a dye sublimation printing process, we print them onto the garments. So you might have a picture of a great picture by Vaughn Cochran of a bonefish that we painting actually, and that we've now put on all over a hooded sweatshirt that you could wear out, or maybe a sun protective shirt. And we've got 10 different artists, and these artists are fabulous. I mean, they make paintings via oil, acrylic. We have some that are pencil drawn, colored pencils, and these guys are really professionals. I mean, they make beautiful things, and it just gives our clothing a totally unique look. So that's what we do, and it allows you to kind of show your colors and kind of promote your hobby while you're out doing it. So just get a lot of great comments about it, and it's really a unique look.
I wanted to kind of go into a little bit about dye sublimation. For people who don't know, the most common way, well, used to be the most common way, I don't know anymore because I've been away from that for some time, but at one time the most common way was to do this using what's called a silk screen, a silk screening process, where they have to make a screen, and the screen is burned. They call it burning a screen, and with the image on the screen. And if you have different colors, you have to have different screens for each color so that you're not running colors into each other. And it could become quite a costly experience, but not only that, it has drawbacks because of the nature of the way that it's done. When you're printing dye sublimation, this is a completely different process. This is directly to the cloth with everything at one time. A lot of these inks are ultravioletly cured, so you get an immediate cure. You don't have to wait. The other way that they do it is they put it into a special oven where they literally cook this stuff. So the dye sublimation process gives you a much higher, almost like watching HD versus regular. It's that kind of thing.
There's another big advantage too, is on screen printing, it's ink on, or paint, let's call it, on top of the shirt. And if you're out in the sun, that all of a sudden you're going to have a hot patch. And I've actually had to change shirts because the patch got so hot on the back. Why the sublimation is much better. It's a much cooler shirt. Am I right?
Well, and you can actually feel the screen printing on it, and that's how you can tell it's a screen printed shirt. It will wear off over time, but the dye sublimation process is pretty amazing. And what I like about it best is it's actually photo quality. So while our fishing line, Fincognito, is paintings, you can actually see the brush strokes in many cases of what the artist laid down. And it's pretty much exactly what was painted, and you can see the canvas underneath, in fact, and that's right. It gives it such a neat look. We also have a couple of items, for specifically a tarpon and a dorado, that are actually photographs of the side of a fish, and so you just get this great look to it. And it's like being photo quality. It's just light years beyond what the screen printing used to offer.
Now, where can people look at this? Are you in general stores?
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I apologize. Are you in shops and stores or just online?
Yeah, we're in all of the above. We actually now have a small brick and mortar store on the main drag in Sandpoint, Idaho. So we're up here in northern Idaho, but we also have fly shops across the country. We've got we even have some marinas in Florida and places that carry us down there. And, of course, we're online at fincognito.com. So it's like incognito, like me being in disguise, but we had an F on the front to make it Fincognito, FINCOGNITO.com. And we do quite a bit of quite a robust online business.
And there's some cool pictures on there. It's kind of like, I think maybe you already mentioned this, but it's kind of like having a painting, wearing a painting, I guess is the best way to describe it.
Well, exactly. And, we just have such fun with it, too. And people, our customers seem to, collect them as well, almost like collecting artwork for your house. Well, people, every year, what's new this year? What new images do you have? What can I buy? What new artists are you covering? And so it's really kind of fun. And, you don't always have to be, blasting it out there either, because we do boxer shorts, so you can wear it under your pants if you want. So you can just hide your fishing, but also, we have a great legging line right now, and lots of women are wearing it for, workouts and running or jogging, and even the paddle boarding and kayaking and that type of thing. But yeah, exactly. Pam, you could save your legs from the sun with the leggings, but they also will wear it out with a skirt or a tunic, and go out in the night with trout leggings or tarpon leggings, and it's really been fun for everybody.
They're pretty amazing. I just pulled up your website, and they are really cool. People have got to just pull that website out and look at them. I say
it's literally like wearing a piece of art. Literally, it's like HD.
Well, and we watch it sometimes because I have one of my artists has a trout painting that's quite famous. It's called The Snack, and her name is A.D. Maddox, and does a beautiful, beautiful job of painting. She's one of the best artists in the industry. And that fish is coming up and eating the fly. And originally I put it a little low on the shirt, and it looked like it was coming right out of your belly. And that's not always good for somebody who's got a build like me. So we just move it up a little bit, and then it's fine.
I'm looking at that one now. That's great. That is amazing.
Yeah, you really need to.
Is one of our top artists.
Yeah, you go to the website to get an idea. I mean, we could talk it up all day long, but if you want to get an idea, you should go to the website. Now, before I forget about it, you are being in Idaho. Done any fishing lately?
Funny you should ask, because I actually took Friday off and went fishing with a couple of friends. Yeah, and it was a little strange. It's been a kind of an unsettled year out here, and we had big runoff, and right now is when all the flies should be coming off beautifully, and actually they were yesterday, or Friday, I should say. And we had all sorts of bugs on the water and in the air, and right now it's green drakes and stoneflies and even some caddis, and it was just the bugs really showed up and the fish really didn't. So we we caught some, and then and the whole trip was punctuated by two very big fish. So I did catch one that was about 20 inches and 19 inches, and it was just a beautiful cutthroat. So we're doing dry fly fishing on these beautiful rivers, and we drove for 2 hours and did not see one person. So, to get to this remote area. And so, any day you can spend a day out on the water all day. And we probably covered about 4 miles of river just waiting and, not see a person. That's pretty spectacular.
Wow. You remind me of the days when I was stationed in Panama City, Florida, which is on the west coast of Florida. And people think about Panama City. When I found out I was going to be stationed in Panama City, I just went crazy. I said, oh my God, I'm going to be in Party Town, USA, because everybody thinks of Panama City as a party town. What they don't realize is the place shuts down right after September. It shuts down. When I tell you it shuts down, it literally shuts down at 9 o'clock at night. This is back then. I don't know what it is now, but this is back then. At 9 o'clock at night, this place would shut down. Nothing would be open except for one gas station and a Waffle House on Highway 98. That was it. Everything else was down. You're talking to a kid that grew up in Miami. 24/7, you could go anywhere. Something is open. It drove me crazy. But the one thing that I found absolutely unbelievable is if you've never been to the Panama City Beach or along the beaches on the Gulf Coast, the sand is, if you take a picture of somebody on the sand without the water in the background, you think they're standing in snow. It is so white. It is so clean. It's unbelievable. I could walk for at least an hour and a half along the beaches when it's off season and see nobody, just for miles, literally, back then, deserted beaches. So it's an amazing feeling because it makes you realize how minute you really are in relationship to the world around you.
Well, and it's getting harder and harder to find that these days too. So I just really, treasure those times we get out with some friends and get on the water and enjoy God's creation,
Hallelujah. I love it. That's great. So you caught some fish. You had a good time. That's excellent. We're gonna be taking a break in a moment, but before we do, I wanted to, one more time, if you would, website. What is your website?
Fincognito.com. FINCOGNITO.com.
And is there a phone number that they can call?
Yeah, you can call, 208-610-3320 is our phone number, and it's pretty much with me all the time, so we can handle any of your requests.
I'm thinking about what you said earlier about the boxer shorts. That really does go with the name with Fincognito, like being incognito with the boxer shorts. So just out of curiosity, what's on the boxer shorts?
All sorts of prints. You can get many trout prints. We have rainbows and brown trout and cutthroat, and then we have Dorado and tarpon, and so we just have a lot of different prints, and mostly on the accessory items and sun protective accessories and those type of things. We have skin prints, which are pictures of or paintings of up close of the fish's skin, so you get a pattern on it. It's really quite
scales
and very, very colorful.
I'll get you a pair of the shorts in Dorado, also known as Dolphin or Maui Maui for us in the South.
That's right.
Wow. Well, Doug, thank you so much.
I know.
Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate it. Wish you a wonderful day, my friend. Enjoy.
And you too. Have a great day.
Thank you. That's Doug Faudet. He is with Fincognito Fishing Apparel. You can find him online. And you can reach him if you want to call him, 208-610-3320. And we're going to take a break just a couple of seconds early, and we'll be back with Victoria, the one and only Victoria Brinkley, with a new network she's going to tell us about. Don't go away.
You're listening to the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riskella. Don't go away. We'll be right back.
Do you shop at garage sales, estate sales, auctions, thrift shops, or do you just have a few old books lying around the house? Do you want to know what your books are worth? Then listen to Bucks on the Bookshelf with Steve the Bookman Eisenstein live every Saturday from 12 to 2 p.m. right here on WDBF Radio, and find out if you have a treasure.
I'm Bobby Likas, host of Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Grab your calendar and let's make a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. On Car Clinic, we'll drive into the automotive lifestyle. I'll share information that'll help you make better buying and service decisions. So let's make it a date. Saturday mornings from 10 till noon Eastern Time. WDBFradio.com, WDBF.FM, and Bobby Likas Car Clinic. Like us, you'll love us.
Going fishing? Thinking of hunting? Whether fishing saltwater or freshwater, offshore or backwater, whether hunting with a bow or using a rifle, whether boating or snorkeling or any other associated activities, we bring the outdoors to you. It's the Fish Florida Show Sunday mornings, 8 to 10 a.m. on WDBF.FM.
Do you own a laser printer, copier, or a fax? Well then, listen close to this announcement. Laser Technologies has been providing high-quality, frustration-free toner cartridges that are guaranteed not to harm your equipment for over 20 years. Laser Technologies will save you on your supplies with high-quality and fast delivery. Savings up to 50%. Laser Technologies supplies toner, imaging drums, developer, and cartridges for most of the major brands. For a price quote, send an email to service@laser-technologies.com. Include your printer make and model for your part number. Call us at 561-792-9600. That's 561-792-9600. Laser Technologies, providing 100% of the quality at a fraction of the price. 561-792-9600.
Hi folks, I'm Roger from Rogers Gotcha Motoring. If you need a local auto repair shop, Rogers Gotcha Motoring will take care of all of your automotive repair needs. If you need something as simple as an oil change or as complex as an engine overhaul, I have the latest in technology and the knowledge to get the job done right. We've been servicing Pinellas County since 1994 and are conveniently located at 3700 5th Avenue North in St. Petersburg, Florida. If you need service, call now at 727-327-1830 or visit my website at www.rogersgotchamotoring.com or like my Facebook page at Rogers Gotcha Motoring for a complete list of all of our services. So come on over to Rogers, that's me, and get your car service today. And don't forget to shop and support local business. Call now to book your appointment at 727-327-1830. That's 727-327-1830, or swing on by.
Que Pasa Mexican Cantina is where friends and neighbors come to connect, share, and celebrate one another in a festive, casual atmosphere. Offering rich, robust flavors of authentic Mexican cuisine, we use only the freshest, finest ingredients. We chop and dice, season and blend, and then cook everything we serve to perfection. One thing that makes Mexican food even better is one of our delicious Best of the Bay margaritas. Our signature series of margarita flavors range from our sweet and fruity mango and strawberry to our hot and juicy jalapeno margarita. Having a busy meeting or getting together and looking for Mexican food? Try our Fast Fax form. It's an easy, fast way to order your favorite Mexican food. We have special platters and layouts for any occasion. The form is super easy to fill out, fax, email, or just call it in. Whether it's here in the restaurant, in your home or office, at Que Pasa we celebrate bringing people together. Que Pasa Mexican Cantina, 10478 Roosevelt Boulevard North Street in the Gateway Shopping Center, 727-330-3663 in St. Petersburg. With 24 years in law enforcement, Sergeant Frank Danish embodies community outreach. He has helped hundreds of young people become civic-minded adults through a 17-year leadership development program in the city of Boynton Beach, Florida. This program also has produced police officers with strong moral character. Also, the founder of Adopt a Cop USA, Sergeant Frank Danish, is committed to his members' education and criminal awareness in the community.
So tune in every Saturday afternoon at 2 p.m. Eastern, right after Bucks on the Bookshelf, for the Sergeant Frank Show here on the WDBF Radio Networks.
And you're listening to WDBFradio.com.
Oh, I grabbed my fishing pole and cast it in the water. I fish until dawn. Oh my, I caught a shark. I'm fishing and blowing on when the sun shines all day. They call me a grouper. So I'm fishing and blowing on. Oh yeah.
It's the Fish Florida Show with your host, Riscala Stevens, bringing the outdoors to you every Sunday morning, 8 to 10 a.m. on the WDBF Radio Network. And now, your host, Riscala Stevens.
Okay, we are back. It is the final segment of the Fish Florida Show, the one and only Fish Florida Show. And we are on every Sunday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. You can find us on WDBFradio.com, or you can find us on TuneIn, WDBF.FM, or Captain Hook, what was that earlier that you said? You can find us where?
We're also on Roku, and TuneIn is on Roku, and we're on TuneIn. So if you're a Roku subscriber and you want to watch it through the smart TV, you can do that also.
Cool. I like that. And I have my special co-host with me, which is Pam Worth. Pam, one of the top female kayak anglers in Florida. Thank you, Pam. Appreciate you stepping in for me.
My pleasure. I enjoy the show, and it's great to get the information out to the people.
And, you know, this morning, again, I'm always learning. I learned this morning something that I never really considered, and that was when we were talking about the snook, that you're not supposed to hold the snook in a vertical position, meaning a lot of people will grab the fish, hold the fish up so that the tail of the fish is facing towards the water or the bottom of the boat, and the head of the fish is facing up, that it could actually harm the fish quite a bit, and you're not doing the fish any favors. So, again, I'm always learning. I had never realized that. Yeah,
that's kind of one of my little pet peeves when I see that on Instagram. You cannot hold a snook the same way you hold a bass up by the jaw. You may not know it, but you basically injured or killed that fish.
Oh, how sad. Wow. So again, it's always a learning experience for me, and that's why I enjoy so much doing the show. And I wouldn't be able to do the show if it hadn't been for someone like, I don't know, Victoria, who I've asked to call in this morning, Victoria Brinkley, who is responsible for the Fish Florida app. Good morning, Miss Victoria.
Good morning.
And how are you doing, my dear?
I'm doing fine. How are you guys doing?
Great.
Well, awesome.
So I had asked you to call in this morning because I wanted to get an update about the Brinkley Network. Let's talk about the Brinkley Broadcasting Network. I think it is, right?
Actually, it's CNT Network. It's Cloud Network TV. And as most of everybody knows, people are cutting the cable cord. The Internet is taking over broadcast television. Most of the people that we're looking that are shopping, that are consumers, are now finding it much easier and more convenient to shop online. So as I was making the Fish Florida mobile app and trying to bring more value to our advertisers and our media partners, I've been working all year long to put together a shopping network where we can feature our media partners' products and services. And in lieu of the fact that people are shopping online, this is what I was thinking. So I started making deals with TV channels months ago. So it was a pretty tedious task because they have a channel that's already built out, and I'm going to them saying, hey, I'm going to promote and market your channel in my portal, in my network, my own network, which is Cloud Network TV. And as I was making the deals, it was very difficult because I had to negotiate, I'm going to put content on there, I'm going to put our shopping stuff on there, and I'm going to sell advertising on some of those shows that make sense to sponsors. So those were deals that had to be put together first, and I also had to get an agreement with them. Then I had to get a permission form that says that I can put their TV channel in my network. So I had to put together a number of TV channels to go into that network. And that's something that'll be ongoing. You know, we're going to start off with a few channels. We've got several channels, actually, that we've made deals on. But all of them were excited because I had the Fish Florida shopping network. That was what made everybody excited to do business with me. So we've got thousands of products between all of our media partners, and we have a very nice margin that we can actually become kind of like a dealer. And when people shop, they'll be able to actually watch TV and shop. So each of the media partners will have 5 minutes per product to talk about the features and the benefits and the price. We'll overlay that with a QVC style screen. So that will actually go through our network, and then the media partners will get a receipt and then they'll drop ship. So that's the model with that. Wow. But as far as the TV network goes, you know, we called it Cloud Network TV. Brinkley Broadcast is just a media, basically a media outlet that will funnel, you know, things through. Because it covers Brinkley, the CNT network covers many demographics and verticals, not just fishing. But really, we just have the fishing, boating, and hunting products for the shopping network, shopping shows.
So do we have really a launch date yet?
You know, in light of the fact that, you know, I had a emergency crisis in my family with my daughter, who became very ill in April, it was just, I still had to work and I still had to push this out, and I still had multiple conference calls throughout the whole evening. But it was hard because my daughter was really sick. And when we thought a week after being in the hospital, we thought she was getting better, and all of a sudden she developed the whole.
She had a relapse. I'm sad to hear that.
She had meningitis. Well, she had a brain injury that turned into meningitis and then Kawasaki's disease. So everything was kind of just. I had to just take a break from everything and just focus on my daughter, and that's why we're kind of delayed here. The other thing that's a delay is getting the channel descriptions and the channel logos, and then the pictures and the descriptions for all the products. That's a big task, Riscala, to get, you know, all those products together and to get everybody on in a timely manner getting that stuff to us so we can build that, you know, website and the network.
Have you targeted a date?
Well, actually, you know, my partner, I have a partner in Maryland, and they actually have a big office with the whole staff that's going to be running the technical side of things. You know, we are getting a lot of pressure to start this any day. You know, I know they wanted to start it last week, so we're probably a couple of days away from launching this.
Okay,
and
cool.
As soon as I heard it's very sharp. I heard it's really cool. Very
Great.
Innovative and cutting edge.
That's exciting.
I love it.
Well, and the other exciting thing is we have 100 million subscribers collectively between all of our network partners. So we're partnered with Roku, we're partnered with Amazon, Apple, Google TV, and YouTube TV, and I'm trying to do a deal with Hulu. So I'm trying to get, you know, as I go, I'll be making more partnerships so that, you know, our network will be scattered everywhere. So all of that content from any of the shows from our network will resonate through all of those platforms. And really, by the time it goes through all those platforms, our stuff will go back down to Facebook with hundreds of thousands of views because it collects those views and likes as it goes through all the networks. So
wow.
it's really something, Riscala.
Well, it sounds very exciting. That's why I wanted you to come on and share what's going on, kind of give us an update. And I am
the other
sincerely.
thing I want to add real quick, Riscala, is that you will see a new version of the Fish Florida mobile app coming out. We're in the process of making trying to cut a deal with some people that want to totally redo the app. So we're going to make that as cutting edge as well. So it'll be really something.
So we've got a new version of the app coming out, and with the new version that comes out, is this automatic? I mean, if I have, I have an Android, so I'll be told that there's an update available.
I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm not sure about what their plan is for that. We're still working out the details, but it's to the point where there's just so many apps out there. We want to be the best of the best of the best. Mm-hmm. I like everything to be very polished. So I think it's time to look at, maybe a newer version.
Mm-hmm. We'll be on the lookout for that. I appreciate you taking the time to call in, Miss Victoria. I wish you a wonderful day, my dear.
Thank you guys for having me on.
My pleasure.
Okay, thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
All right, my friends, that is Victoria Brinkley. She is really the one who's responsible for the Fish Florida app, and the Fish Florida app is what is responsible for the Fish Florida show. Again, it's a free download. I would take advantage of it while it's free. It costs you nothing. And, excuse me, it's a vital tool if you're going to be outdoors. So we've got a few minutes left. I wanted to take just a couple of minutes and talk with Ms. Pam about some of your sponsors. Ms. Pam, who are some of your sponsors that provide you with the opportunity to do what you do? And had they not been able to do that, I would have never met you. Had it not been for Ms. Victoria, I would not have met you. So I'd like to acknowledge your sponsors while we've got a moment.
Well, I am very blessed. I think I have some of the best sponsors in the industry. I affectionately say, a Native watercraft. It's the Slayer 13 Propel. It is a pedal drive and a kayak. Native was the very first to come out with a pedal drive, where it's kind of like a bicycle that turns a prop. My rods are by Cajun rods. They're out of Jacksonville. Everything in that rod is from the United States, built in the United States, just like the Native boat. But it does have the nice Fiji, which are top of the line, the Fiji guides in it. Yak Attack, again, another U.S. corporation based out of Carolina, does all the rigging. They have unique rigging for kayaks, and it can fit any kayak. And for rod holders, trolleys for your anchoring system, stands for your GoPro units, all that type of stuff. If there's something you need, storage units for your tackle, that's Yak Attack. And then finishing off the line, one of the best places, and if you're in Central Florida to come shopping, is Tampa Fishing Outfitters. We're probably the biggest tackle shop out there. If you take out boats and hunting equipment, we're totally focused on the fishing industry. Big freshwater department, inshore as well as outshore. So I'm very, very pleased and honored to have them on my side.
And a big thank you to all of them, because had it not been for them, Miss Pam wouldn't be doing what she's doing. And if Miss Pam wasn't doing what she was doing, Miss Victoria wouldn't have known about it, and I would have never met her. So I'm grateful to all of those who have done their part and contributed to sponsor her. It's great to have you on, Pam. I'm always intrigued. I've never really done anything fishing like the way, like you do in a kayak. And to be honest with you, I don't know, to be out in the ocean, you've told me times that you've been out miles offshore. I don't know if I had that courage. I got to be honest with you.
Well, I look at it this way. If something happens in 10 feet of water, you're in the same situation as 450. And, I practice safe fishing. If I'm going offshore, I'm never going by myself. I always, if a couple of us are going, and it's not a tournament, I always make sure that there's people on land that know exactly where I'm launching and what time I'm expected back in. And we make phone calls. I'll call them when I hit land. If they don't think I've come in time, all of a sudden I'll get a phone call. Mama Pam, where are you?
Yeah.
So,
what you just mentioned, I think, is a very, very vital part. That if you're going to go out, all of us want to have a good time, but there's a safety factor involved in there, and that safety factor is exactly what Pam had just said. Let people know where you're going, about what time you're going to be back. Make sure you've got some way to communicate, because there are people who love you and care about you, and they're going to worry. It's just part of the human human experience, I guess. Anyway, we are just about out of time. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to let us share with you this morning. Hope you had an enjoyable time listening to some of our stories and learning as well as I've learned every time. Just about every time I do the show, I learn something new. Thank you to Pam. Thank you to Captain Hook for doing what you do. Thank you to each one of you who listen. We'll be back in a week.